Hello everyone and welcome to Mike Plays RP1 Redux. Let's take a look at what we got going just to kind of refresh people on where we're at. We have a launch complex. One is being reconditioned. That's because of our recent launch of the U-1250 with the Tiny Tim booster to do a sounding payload contract. That'll happen in the previous episode. You'll see a link to it up here. And then coming very soon on the heels of this, June 18th, it's now June 11th, so only a week away, we have our V2 launch complex is going to be complete, and we can hopefully get started on our V2 rocket, which actually I do want to make some modifications to based on some YouTube comments that I've been receiving, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. Also in Launch Complex 1, we're building a new U-1250 sounding rocket that is going to be built, and I'll probably add another one to the queue. I actually want to make a couple of changes to that too. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And then we have some research being done on some early tracking systems, going pretty slowly. The first one's only due, what is that, February 19th of next year, so yeah, still several months away. And that has to do with my staffing. If I take a look at my staff, I currently have 10 engineers, and their job is to continue to pump up those U-1250 sounding rockets. Once I get the V2 being built, I am going to need more engineers, so I'll have to be hiring, I think, for that. I also have 21 researchers. I'd love to keep pumping that number up to research this stuff more quickly, but all of that costs money. And if we go over here to my budget screen and look down the list, everything in brackets is a negative, everything not in brackets is a positive. And if we look down at the overall balance, you can see I am running a deficit. This is a daily deficit of 8.9 bucks a day. Not a lot, but it is a bit, and I really don't want to hire more until I can start getting that into the positives. Now, one good thing is, if we take a look at our biggest expense, it is construction, and that is because of the V2 launch complex. That's only going to be a week away. That's costing me 128 bucks a day. So I'm thinking once the V2 complex is done, I'm hoping that this expense will just disappear. We'll be running then a surplus, and I will hire some more people, hopefully, because I'm going to need them. But before we get into all that, let's close these windows. What I want to do is actually get in here, take a look at my V2, and make some changes based on some suggestions I was getting in the comments. So we'll close that, open up our V2 rocket, which is this one. Not this one. This one, by the way, is they do give you a couple of builds. This is the V2 build that they built for you. That comes pre-built, so you're free to use that if you want. There's a couple other pre-builts as well, but I don't like to use the pre-built, so I'm not going to. But this here is my V2. That is my look at. Oh, look at that. It's just a beautiful thing. But anyway, where I want to make the changes, let's take the whole launch system off here, is down here at the bottom, because I have this cowling that I just built out of a procedural structural part, just built out of steel and just stuck that on the bottom. I ran into, in the first episode, some, it's a bit of annoying how you got to put it on. You got to do this, and then you got to use the move tool to kind of slide it up a little bit. Let's actually take the, where you go? There we go. So I have to take the snap off there a bit and slide that up. And I mean, it's fine, but some suggestions came in the comments. There is an actual boat tail procedural fairing thing that you can use. So let's see if we can use that. Now, the first thing I want to do is take a look at my mass. It is now 15.235 tons. I'll go with whatever uses the less mass. So I'm just going to write that down, 15.235, and then we're going to put this aside in case I want it again. And I'm going to go to payload and take a look at, oh, there's so many options. Oh, there's a boat tail adapter flat. And when I used this too, I got into some crossfeed issues, which was annoying, but that might be my thing, right? Boat tail adapter hollow ring. Boattail adapter hollow truss. That's what I'm looking. Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of options. Boattail adapter ribbed. Now the rest of these are just other various. I'm looking at the boattail. That's what I'm looking at. So let's start with the first one. Boattail adapter flat. This is again a procedural part. I suspect I need to turn this upside down, just kind of looking at it like so. And then the engine could go on. Oh my gosh. Like so. And then it's none of that twiggly stuff. And then we'll take this. And the base should be 2.5. Oh no, it's 1.25. I'm sorry. 1.25 is the diameter of this thing. 1.25 meters. I know that. I know my. Oh no, it's actually bigger than that. Okay, let's just look. What is the diameter at the bottom? Because I flared it out. I forgot I did that. The actual diameter at the bottom is 1.5 meters. Okay, so I'll take this. Let's pin it over here. 1.5. Okay. And the top, well, the way these boat tail fairings work, oh, I can see the lines. See the blue lines? So I want them to actually go in. I guess it's the top is now the bottom because I flipped it upside down. Yeah. See how that brings it inwards? See those blue lines? And then also it needs to be higher. I can see that right away because you can... Yep. See where the blue line... I just want the engine bell to come out, but the actual engine itself, I want it to be contained. Now, we do have to use these procedural fairings. There's this one, and then a recolorable procedural fairing. Well, why wouldn't you use the recolorable one? Colorable. And these fairings will never deploy. How does this work? I think you just... Do I flip them over? Got something in the way. Let's try that again. I can see the nodes for it. Do that. There they go. And then you gotta go four-way symmetry because there's 4 nodes there. And there. So right away, now this is 15.28 tons. So right away it is a little bit lighter. And it's much more customizable. And this is apparently recolorable, but what we're gonna do is recolor it just exactly the same as what you see with me, right? I mean, that's the thing to do. Do I have... Oh, we have variants here. Okay, I don't, they're slightly different variants. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the same options. Oh, here's something. The Saturn one. I want to kind of match what I already have happening with these stripes. Don't have to. I'm coming around. Maybe the Saturn one was the best option. But if we took that... way to do it. It really does not. There it is. I can't rotate the whole thing. So I was thinking I could rotate the upper tank to match the stripes, but I can't. Oh wait, maybe if I rotate the base, maybe. If I select the base, will that just rotate now? Oh, it's no. Okay, I don't have the base selected. Zoom right in here. I don't know if it's possible. I can't get in there, just select the base. I might be getting entirely too picky, but I mean, in my mind, being picky about this stuff is what this is all about. Is that the base? That might be the base right there. Let's see what I can do now. There we go. That's what I was looking to do. Now this is a fairing, right? Like it's a deployable thing. I'm just looking to see what other. So there's the base. Stringer mass. That's as low as it'll go. I want that. Oh no, that's the procedural tank I'm on. Still the procedural take. Had the base before. Boattail adapter flat. So I've adjusted the various sizes. I don't know. I don't know what the fairing auto struts. I don't think that really. Does it affect the mass? If it affects the mass, then no, it doesn't. So I don't care. Whatever you do. Interstage nodes off. Fairing closed. Fairing nodes. We can. Oh, won't let. Wait. Detach the fairing parts before changing the amount of nodes. Okay, so if I take this off and then change the number of nodes down, because I really don't need all the nodes, right? Because it'll never deploy. This might have been a mistake too. You have to get these like lined up just perfect on there. Oh, now it's one big stripe. Look at that. I think what I had before was better, where it matched the stripes. It did not affect the mass, so I'm gonna Control Z a few times. Get that back, okay? Shoot, I lost. Boattail adapter. Anything else? We'll keep the number of nodes the same. There is some variance here. Don't know what the variations are. Boink. Boink. I don't see any difference in what's going on here. And again, no difference in mass. That's the key. So I'm gonna. Okay, so that is the Boattail. Already a little bit less mass. That one is 15 tons, 208 kilograms. So it is, what's that? 27 kilograms lighter, but 27 kilograms is 27 kilograms. What do we have for the recoloring options? There is open the recoloring GUI. We can make this, I believe I use stock white. And then for the black part, with metallic black. There, I think that matches a little bit better. It looks. I like it. I like it. It's a little rib thing happening there, but I kind of like that too. We just want. Can we disable the staging? I didn't notice if that was an option, because clearly it'll never get staged. Disable crossfeed. Nope, I don't want that crossfeed for sure. Okay, last looking for the ability to change the staging. I don't think. What happens when you... What's the difference between fairing closed, fairing open? Oh, that's just for viewing purposes. Got it. Okay. Doesn't look like I have the ability to take it out of the staging diagram. So what I'm going to do... Well, actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and see if the others are really much different. So there's that. I'm not going to spend too... Here's the hollow ring adapter. Boattail adapter. Okay, and is it just an aesthetic choice here? Like I got all the same. That was 1.5. That wasn't it? 1.5. Okay. And then if we get into these guys. Oh my golly. Why? Oh yeah, okay. So the base side is that. The top needs to be 1.5. Oh no, the top needs to be much... Why is it out like that? Oh, this is like a full fairing. I'm not... Okay. I'm not sure if that's really what I want. What did I do different? Like it's making the whole Aggie fairing thing. That's interesting. Okay, well I got what I want. What about... Take that off. Then I have this guy. Will not play for too much. Oh wait, because I didn't... Maybe because I didn't put the motor on the bottom. Maybe. Motor off. Oh my gosh. Here. Let's go right back to what I had. Okay, throw you away. Motor goes away. That comes over here. Okay. Now comes that one. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, 1.5 for the base. Just feels so much bigger. Top. There we go. Let's get a couple of these guys on here. Why is it so hard to put these on? Put the motor back. Holding the Alt key. Okay, that helped. Oh wait, I think I have to go upside down, don't I? I think that's it. There we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, 185. This is less. This is, well, it's, wait. We're not there yet. I was about to say it's less mass, but then it's not as long. Nope, that's not what I want. Ring. I think I got it. I do got it. Okay. Make it longer. Yeah. And make it narrower. So is it this one? There we go. Oh, it's a little too narrow because I'm seeing that the fins are... Not sure what I said. So it feels like it might be, but then again, it might be a slightly different dimension than the one I got here. A little bit. I think the height, I think it's all the same. Is there a way of adjusting the weight of the fairing pieces? Like ejection power 0, that's down to 0. Oh, fairing decoupler off. Ah, that's how you take it out of the staging. Okay. Pre-shape shape egg. Okay. Oh, we got different options here. Can get a little delta. Jupiter Titan, Long March, Proton, Soyuz, Conic. Egg. Let's go Conic. And then again we got, I think these all look kind of the same, don't they? Yeah, that's all the same. I got the exact same mass, 208. So I had me a feeling I'm actually just fiddling with options that don't matter. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get out of here. I don't know why there's different ones, but I'm gonna just keep undoing. There. That can go away. I am gonna get rid of my oil. I'm gonna stick with this. This is what I just had, right? Except we're gonna take the staging off, ejection power 0, ejection torque 0, and take it out of the staging completely. There we go. And does it look the same? I think it does. I'm not sure I got the coloring quite right. Oh, I'm spending way too much time on this, aren't I? Way too much time on this. Open the coloring GUI. Oh, that's just on the... Yeah, no. I gotta open the coloring GUI on the fairing. Silly. There we go. So this should be on stock white, and this should be on metallic black. I think it is. It is. Okay, we're good. We're good. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Now I should give this a test fly. Really. Because I don't know if it changes anything in terms of performance. It really shouldn't. And for whatever reason, I cannot grab. You are being very awkward. Okay, so I'm going to have to grab a new... This is the Redstone launch stand, and for whatever reason, I cannot grab it. So I'm going to get a new Redstone launch stand. Okay, you really don't want me to find my Redstone launch stand. I will find it this way. Stinker. I was really happy with my Redstone launch stand. There it is. Why? Okay, there's something going on here. Let's... Oh, I think because I had that... Okay. I had the coloring GUI open, and it doesn't like that kind of stuff. Okay. There. Okay, that's all good. That's all good. Motor has to come on before the launch stand. Alright. Notice now it's a little lower. Does it look better if it's a little higher? I think it looks better if it's a little higher. Hopefully that won't be a problem. Okay, let's save this, and let's give her a quick simulation and make sure everything is ducky-gory. I think it does what it's supposed to do. Not going to do a full flight with this thing, but I think, you know, just to make sure everything is... I still don't like... I'm wondering if a fairing would work better on the top, too. Instead of having the witching hat, make a little eggy cone on the top. Might be better, too. Okay, let's just check this out, make sure everything runs. I'm sure it's fine, but... oh, I got to open up McJeb. This is why I got my instructions here. Open up McJeb. And get the ascent guidance out. And in here I have to make sure that's 110. Periapsis is set to 0. This is a suborbital dealie. And turn the auto staging off. Options. Auto stage is off. Yes. And then run my downrange program. Oh, and engage autopilot. Oh my god. That's even written in all uppercase. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna work on my little witchy hat. I think it's great. It's a little less mass. I think it looks just as good. I think it's, yeah. Oh, so there's a nice proper way to do the cowlings. I'm going to work on my little nose cone here, which is also just a procedural structure part, but they didn't have a nice smooth cone for it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, let's end this. Fine. Oh, I'm pushing all the bad buttons. I pushed her herbal alarm clock. There it is. Revert to the editor. Okay. Okay, we're going to make it still better. That's the thing with RP1. Like, it is seemingly endless tweaking. So what I want to do, I was never happy with this little witch's hat, but that's again because it's built out of a structural procedural part, and I wanted to make it hollow to save weight, and you know, hollow cone. There wasn't a smooth hollow cone, but maybe I can do it with the fairings and make something to just look better, and maybe be less mass too. So this thing is now 207 kilograms. I had 208 before, now it's 207. Let's write that down. Okay, we're going to take off our little witch's hat, hide that over there, and we're going to do the same thing. So there might be a lot of uses out of, let's use the hollow ring this time. I'm not sure there's a huge difference, but we're going to use that. This time I know it is a base size of 1.25. And we want the top to be 0. Right? Won't let it be 0. It goes down to 0.1 and that's it, but maybe that'll be enough. And can we change the shape? What's the height? The height of this guy. Let's match it. See if we can match it really good. We have the structural here. In that. Height. Length is 1.8 meters. So let's do the same thing there. 1.8. And let's get those fairing bits. Okay. Oh, see, already that's looking happier to me. Now it's like there's a hole at the top. Can we do something about that? This is the fairing itself here. How's my weight doing? 209 kilograms. So it's actually 2 kilograms heavier so far, but maybe we can do some adjusting to see if we can fix that. So we want, again, this all down to 0. And we want fairing decoupler off. Okay, that takes it out of the fairing. Did that change the mass? It should. Oh, it's 208. I think it did bring the mass down a little bit. I mean, you know, if it's not deploying, that means it doesn't need all the explosives and release bolts and all that kind of junk. Shape. So I'm just looking at fairing auto shape on. Let's just leave it like that. Okay, shape. I got an egg. I got a conic. An egg. We should be able to close on the top. Oh my golly. Well, I guess the egg is the better option, but that's just coloring tools, but shape unlocked, shape locked. Okay. I just feel like I'm missing something really obvious because it just like you should be able to make a fairing without a hole on the top, right? Oh wait, this is a boat tail. Oh my god, I'm a dummy. Don't use the boat tail, dummy. Use an actual fairing base. Let's see. Yeah. Procedural fairing base, procedural hollow payload adapter, procedural hollow interstage ring. Okay. I was using the whole. Oh, there's a procedural thrust plate. I don't want to get into that, but all of a sudden I noticed that there. Yeah. Don't use the boat tail, dummy. Procedural fairing base ring, procedural hollow payload adapter ring. What's this payload adapter ring like? Okay, that might be my better plan. Okay, let's redo this. Okay, so this is just flat out just for the base. No, I want something that's more adjustable than that. What about you? Procedural fairing base ring. Okay, base size is 1.25. What happens if I put some? Alright. Wait. Whoa, this guy's heavy. Okay. This guy's heavy. So I don't think that's the way to do it. It seems to auto-shape it based on what the payload is. So if you don't have a payload, that seems to behave very strangely. fairing adapter. What happens? Can I do anything with these? Oh, no. I see now the interstage nodes and how they work. I think I might have been better off with what I had. But then there's a hole on the top. One of these has got to be the right tool to just fashion a bit of a nicer nose cone. Okay, you know what? Let's stick with the witch's hat for now. I didn't like the hole on the top. I love the whole egg thing, but it leaves a hole on the top. I just don't think the payload adapters are going to work for me because it doesn't, you know, you can't adjust. You can only adjust the size of the base, and then it adjusts the fairing automatically based on, oh, wait. Fairing auto shape. Hang on, baby. Hang on. So we have, if I do this to 2.5, or 1.25, for goodness sakes. Numbers. My goodness. Max size is 1.25. This is not really what I'm shooting for, but okay, let's get back to that one that was the ring. Payload adapter ring. Taking off that. Okay, here we go. Real fast. Can I make a nice little egg? Little nose cone. Doesn't have to be an egg. Okay, now if I pin that, take this. Okay. And I can change cylinder start. Okay, see, so you can change this diameter. What if I make that a 0? It's a little funny, but at least it's closed off on the top. What happens if I change this? Oh. See, that's more like a nose cone. That's very nose cone-ish. Question is, how heavy is it? There's something. That looks like a decent nose cone now that it's a conic. Cone egg, Atlas, Delta, Jupiter, Long March, Proton, Soyuz. Okay, there. And can you adjust? Well, I still don't see the option. Again, I can... Whoa. Take that out of there. I don't see the option to adjust how tall this is. Maybe that's the start? Oh, it doesn't like that for whatever reason. Oh, the end has to be bigger than the start. But, okay, so that just adds a bit of... Alright, let's see. Now, without this... Let's grab the whole thing. There we go. This is, again, 207 kilograms. Putting that on... Looks sort of funny, but now it's... 274. That added... No, way too much. Way too much. So even if I got this to work nice, too much mass. One day, like if I go into aerodynamics, are there not like just nice procedural nose cone? Wait a minute, what? Maybe there's just a procedural nose cone. Am I crazy? I should have just maybe figured that there might be, but I'm an idiot. Modular nose tank service module. Modular, oh, that I can't do that, but modular conventional structure. Nose tank. I don't want a tank. I want just a nose cone, but maybe I can just... Why did I not even think about that? Nose cone, procedural, for goodness sakes, Aben. Look for the obvious. Sitting there fashioning crap out of... Oh my god, what a frickin' melonhead. Of course there's something like this. So, looking at this now, let's copy its dimensions. So, 1.25, that's right. Length is 1.8. I'm gonna 100% copy those dimensions. Okay, I gotta make it a smooth. Why am I such a dummy? Okay, so now I got the options. I got it on round 1, round 2, round 3. Look at that, that's lovely. Peaked 1, peaked 2. It's like a Russian dome on the top there. Sharp 1, sharp 2, wasted, custom. Okay, curve. Let's just go rounded 1, like really basic. Now, what's my weight? It's frickin' huge. Why? Why do you have to be so heavy? Why? Well, you know what? I might not care. I might just not care. Like, aesthetics means something. It is almost 39 kilograms heavier. I've added. I cannot bring the stringer mass down further. Yeah, it's... Oh, here, you can even see the mass. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it Control-Shift-Z to bring it back? Ah, you dork. You can actually see the mass. This one's 37.15 kilograms. I'm spending too much time doing silly crap. Silly crap. And this guy's 76, right? So it is quite a bit heavier. Length, offset. What's the offset do? Oh! Don't want that. I can see why you'd want that. Not on radial stuff, but I don't want that. I do not see a way to make it lighter, so I think I'm gonna just live with this. Throw this away. The witch's hat bothered me so much. Okay, let's, now I should be able to find a really nice, there, that's the same texture as before. Open the coloring GUI. We are going with, the sides are going back again to stock white. And the black is not black, but rather metallic black. Black metallic paint there. And that should match the whole rest. That looks a gazillion times better. This time I should test it to make sure it can do the contract. I should. I really should. It is heavier. Do I have the contract selected? I probably do not. No. Okay, so let's save this. Back into mission control. The contract I'm interested in for this guy is low space film return. So I certainly want to make sure that I didn't just botch this, just, you know, like adding on that nose cone as much as it looks so much better. But I certainly don't want to, Oh, you know what else needs to change? Shoot. This has added more weight to the... This whole component here is what returns back to the surface. And I need to readjust the parachutes. This is going to add weight too. So right now, this whole part, 710 kilograms. But if I open up the parachute editor... and then just say apply settings, it'll probably, there, said it did it successful. Now it's 708. Somehow it's a little lighter. I don't know how that happened. But you want to adjust the parachutes to match the mass of what you got happening there. And also there was some, oh yeah, I wanted to do these doors open by any chance. I get into action groups and click on that. No, they're shut closed. I was just thinking, I'm a sucker for animation. If I could have automated like the doors opening when the film camera's running or something like that, that would be pretty cool. Okay, let's just simulate. Oh, McJab, engage McJab. Run, downrange, go. And you know, I'm thinking, and this is a great illustration of how, great illustration of how, like, design decisions just compound one on another. And now having this design decision to have this nose cone on the top all comes from the fact I hated the witch's hat, but also came from the fact that the avionics is down here as a cylinder. Like, my original rocket that I started with in the first episode had the avionics as the cone that I could shape as I like, and then I would lose this. But somebody recommended not to do that because put a structural piece instead, because then that can add as the interstage fairing, because at some point we're going to take our U-1250 sounding rocket and stick it on the end of this when we go to do our 3,000 kilometer downrange contract. And then I so hated the witch's hat, now I've gotten away from, I didn't like the structural piece in there. But, you know, the person who recommended that to me might have not cared about this witch's hat, might be just more min-maxing everything, which I know people play games that way, I understand that. But they might be saying, I really want to min-max this guy and make sure that, you know, I spend the least amount of resources to get what I want. But for me, I like aesthetics. I'm just a sucker for that. Okay, this thing is now pitching over hard. I'm sure, speaking of min-maxing, there's a more efficient descent, because when you see it doing this, that's usually an indication you're not doing this in the most efficient way you can. And we just getting really hot on the tail fins. But again, all I need to do is get the frickin' job done. I don't really care. So this guy, according to the contract, let's open that up. According to the contract, has to reach an altitude of at least 100 kilometers in altitude, which is going to do comfortably. Yeah, we're not losing altitude that quickly. And it's got to get at least 200 kilometers downrange. Probably it should be pitching over. There's here, this booster pitch rate of 0.5 degrees probably should be higher. But I'm just going to leave it at it as it is for now. I think it looks better. I really do. And looks are important, I think. No ignitions. Oh, what did I? Oh, we got. Oh, okay. I got to unengage the pilot. It's trying to circularize and bring the periapsis up to 0. You can't do that, silly rocket. Go away. Go away, silly rocket. Oh. This one makes it go away. You aren't controllable anymore anyway. Okay. So it's going to, I got a speed record just fell. How'd that happen? I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Oh, no, it did it. It did the 200 kilometer downrange part. Okay, that's what happened just there. So it's going to do the 200 kilometer downrange. It's not even halfway through its flight. It just reached apogee. That's when that happened. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. It's good enough. Revert to editor. Stop fussing. Okay, we're going to save this. Can't build it yet because we're still waiting on the launch complex. But I do have this guy I want to look at. If I go to integration, this one. Oh, all I can do from here is delete it. I don't want to do that. So what I want to do is leave. This is going to be a really, I think, very quick fix. Though, to be honest, I thought the V2 thing was going to be a quick fix, and look what that got us into. So I'm just going to do an edit on this guy. This is already being integrated, and this is just, I don't like the color. I thought the silver looked also great in here, like just the raw stainless steel metal, but so often, depending upon the lighting, once you get outside, this just comes out to be so dark, so black. So I'm gonna change the color up. That's all. So we're gonna open up the coloring. We're not changing anything about the rocket other than the coloring. And I'm gonna go to the sides, which is now just flat out steel metallic, I think is what it's set to. I'll try and make it a little bit more colorful. So we got, you know, I don't know about that. Got a light blue color. It's kind of nice. Let's go up to your top. We can just go flat out red. Shocking red. You can, by the way, adjust all the RGB stuff too if you really want to get into it. That is very, very blue. We got green. We got brown. I don't know if I want to get into the art. We got an orange rocket. I might go orange. Orange. Orange foam. And then lighter foam color, you know, to replicate the foam that they put on the outside of those, you know, the foam I'm talking. Then we get gold metallic, you know, but it's the metallic. That's what makes it, I think, look not quite right. I'm gonna go, I'm kind of leaning on the orange, like hard, flat orange. I also kind of like the red, but red's pretty dark. You can, like I said, tweak these things. If I take the orange, here you can see how you can make the green less and the green more. Put less red in it. So that, and okay, now less green. That's my issue. More green, less red. And that's just turning it green. A little bit of blue. So you can do that. I know. Screw it all. Just orange. I don't want to go. But you can save the color and then load the color into the other part so it doesn't become quite as fussy as you might think it would. But I'm just going to do that. And then we're going to go the same thing with the nose cone. Open the coloring GUI. Actually, the nose cone on this one is the avionics. There's the coloring. There we are. And we're going to go to the sides and just make them orange. Cool, and then the fins, same dealio. Just so it shows up better when we're looking at it. That's all it is. Orange sides, trailing edge is going to be orange. This has got to be orange. There we go. Very, very. Oh, this one on the end of the bottom, so you can see a little bit of gray there. Open up that coloring GUI. I'm looking right here where the engine attaches. If we get to the end here, we can turn that orange. That looks better. I don't think there's no detailed coloring you can do the boosters, but you can, there's a couple of variants. That's it. See anything for changing colors of booster. We'll leave that. I think that this will just show up better. So what we're going to do is we're going to save these edits. I just should have saved now. Just and now I'm realizing I should have saved it in the VAB first. So let's get back to editing it. And then save it in the VAB. This is the one thing, is you can end up with multiple. And now I can go to here and I can add that to the plans, and that should overwrite in the plans what was there before. And this is what I was just about to mention. It's really easy. You have actually multiple copies of this vessel saved. You have the one you save in the VAB, the one that you save to the plans here in Kerbal Construction Time, and the one that's being integrated. Those are all different save files, and it's really easy to get those out of sync. So I don't want to do that. And what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to add, oh no, go to plans and just add another one. I don't know what I'm going to do with it just yet, but just have it there so that if this one completely becomes bad, then I got another one ready to be built. Okay, let's start pushing forward. Enough fiddling, diddling. Let's do some more launches. And I'm really hoping, by the way, you know, these are going to be my 2 rockets for quite some time, that we're going to spend less time building and more time flying. But we'll see how it goes. So the next thing up is just reconditioning the launch pad from the launch at the end of the last episode. That did not take too long. Then we have the completion of our V2 complex. So let's do that. And now I'm hoping my budget, I am in the positives. I am in the positives here. I am positive by 121 curb bucks a day. So we're going to start hiring staff. Okay, actually, no. First thing we're going to do, we're going to bring up that V2. What experimental parts does it contain? We got to tool this guy. We got to do all kinds of stuff. So we're going to tool this. It's going to cost a bit to tool it, but it is well worth it. So we are tooling, the procedural fairings that make the bottom. Wow, that is expensive. Okay, tool them all. Purchase all tooling, sure. And then we're going to push this fella. We're going to build it into here, so. I think we just do that. I don't know why I find this so. Oh wait, we got to select the right launch complex. There we go. Launch complex 2. V2 launch complex. Now notice that the engineers report is all in the green. And now we're going to I think I can just do this, right? Launch. Doesn't that just... Oh yeah, I gotta buy all the parts. Doesn't cost me anything because I got the credits for it. And now that V2 is in here. It's gonna take an infinite amount of time because I haven't hired my staff yet. I should also go to plans and add this V2 to the plans. There we go. Okay, that's all set. Let's get out of here. Alright, and go to combine. So we got the V2, the complex. Yeah, V2, it's going to take an infinite amount of time. I don't know why it's at the top of the... So I got to hire some staff. I'm also going to pay very close attention to my budget. Now, so far, I've been hiring all my staff just from applicants that have shown up and said, I want to work here. Now we got to go to recruit them, and that costs money. And every hire here costs 300 curb bucks. So I do want to hire some engineers. I want to get this V2 rolling, but I do want to keep an eye on my budget. I don't want to end up in a deficit situation. So let's hire a group of 10, he says very bravely. There we go. You can see that knocks down the budget a little bit. We're going to assign them all to Launch Complex 2. And that has got my V2 now set to be completed in 1954. That's not going to be acceptable. I can have up to 84 engineers in that launch complex, which is so big. It didn't knock down my balance too much. Let's do another 10. Again, launch complex 2. Well, I can just add them in one click. There we go. Now there's 20 people working there. I do want to get some more researchers too. Balance is down. This is now going to be completed in 1953. Let's hire another 10. And I might do some researchers too. Boom. Boom. Okay, now balance is down to 80 curb bucks a day in the positives. This is being built now in 1952, so we're up to next year at least, and it's in July 9th, so about a year, a little over a year from now. Let's get into researchers. We got to hire some researchers. I want to keep my number of researchers in around twice the number of engineers. I think that's a good plan. So again, let's hire another 10 researchers. And I'm looking at my budget. My budget is now 63 plus, and hire another 10. Now it's 45 plus. My number of researchers is now a little over the number of engineers, but not by a lot. Money, 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 money. Money, money, money. But I do have post-war, my next... Oh, it's actually up to this year in November. November next year. I think I'm going to hire more researchers because I got more science to be queued up too. So, hire. Okay, researchers, they freaking expensive, man. Researchers. Okay, let's go back to engineers. Launch Complex 2. Let's hire another 10. Oh, I can't hire another 10. I ain't got the money. Okay, so I wasn't watching this. My actual cash I have on hand. I gotta stop. Okay, so we got to stop. We got a positive balance, but I ran out of money here. I might have gotten a little carried away. I hope I didn't, but I might have. Oh well. We gotta wait for our funds to build back up before we can hire more people. All right. In the meantime, we do have the U-1250 sounding rocket with the Tiny Tim booster, same one as before, coming up in July 1st, so just a couple of weeks. Do I have a contract it can do? That is the question. I don't really know that I do. Oh, I gotta take this guy off. Okay, now you can only hold one contract going at a time. There is this get to 140 kilometers in return, which I've never done, and then these downrange ones, which I can't do. I do have, again, the 75 units of sounding payload, intermediate, get 150 kilometers downrange, with 500 units. No, I can't do that. Oh, that's downrange. It's this one. This altitude gets 75 units of sounding payload up over 80. I can do that with this rocket. And this does give me reputation. By the way this works with the reputation is this resets down to 0. The gains from these contracts, they don't go away when you do it. The ones down here at the bottom that are called intermediate and difficult. Same with these two. But this builds and continues to build, I think, to some sort of maximum, I would assume. And then when you do it, it gets back down to 0. And these are here just to help you continue to keep up your reputation. The only one of these I'm capable of doing with the rockets that I have is this one. But it's only at 7 reputation, so I might let it build. I think I'm just going to do it for science. Do it for science. That's it. I'm just going to do this one for science. So no payload, no nothing. We're going to launch. We're going to see what we get. So let's time warp here. It is now July the 12th. We have to roll it out. That's going to take a couple days. Okay, and it is a lovely day. So yeah, let's do this launch. Let's do a bunch of launches. This is my new orange rocket. Look at that. Looks pretty good. Definitely, I'm sure you can see it better than you could before. We'll open up our Kerbalism doobie here. We are looking at collecting science. We've collected all the telemetry. No, we collected all the barometer science. I obviously took the barometer out. And I don't even think there's telemetry science to collect anymore. No, I have that set to stopped. So the only science there is to collect is temperature science. But in order to do that, I have to get up to altitude. Let's actually open up our science window here. There we go. And we are looking at this particular vehicle. Temperature scanning. Again, all the landed is done. All the splashed is done. All the flying low is done. They just took that away from me and said, yeah, it's all done. But I do have flying high over the oceans, and I have a little bit over the warm tropics. It is 90% done. Last episode, actually, I was looking at the wrong numbers. I realize that now, but now it's this. But the oceans is only 10% done. So maybe the next one, what I'll do is edit it and point it a little bit to the east. We'll see how that works for me. But anyway, this just says run basic sounding. So that is what we're going to do. And this is without a sounding payload or anything. No. Excellent. We're off. Always a little nervous at the beginning. But we're off. And yeah, as I was saying, no sounding payload. So this has quite a bit less weight for payload than it had before. And not flown it this way. The first time it flew is with the sounding payload on it, so this one should go higher than what we saw at the end of the last episode. Exactly how high, I'm not sure. It is pointing nice and straight, though. Lovely straight little rocket. just crossing 20 kilometers. Apogee is at 60 kilometers. I'm really curious to see how high this gets. I must have done it in testing, but I don't know what. We get to 140. That's space, baby, and that's a whole new kettle of fish. 120 kilometers on apogee, 30, 40, 150 kilometers on the apogee. Let's see how much time it spends actually above 140 kilometers, because that's a whole new kettle of fish. And also, we do have an altitude record. Did not get to the speed record. My next speed record is 1,500 meters per second, but my next altitude record is 140 kilometers. That's something. To reputation. Reputation means more money. Okay, so our temperature scanning over the warm tropics is now 100% done. And it's so right now we are collecting 0 science. So definitely I think the next one. Well, let's see what we get. I might actually spend a little bit more time. I might have made a mistake. Here, whoa. I can turn on my telemetry. Because once we're over 140, we got telemetry science. I shouldn't have taken the barometer out. Because there's barometer science. Maybe the better plan is not to worry so much about getting over the oceans, but more just to go up. Go up, baby. Okay, we're over 100. Let's do a little time warping here. 130 kilometers. 140. The game, although we're over the Kármán line, we still have a teeny amount of atmosphere. We don't actually have vacuum until now, 140. So that is an altitude record just cracked there, 140. We got our space, our KSP space music is now kicked in. Next altitude record's 180. Clearly can't do that, so we'll get rid of the contracts. But we're now collecting a whole fresh batch of science, and I want to know, what I'm really curious about is what proportion of... Why did I take the barometer off? That was silly. Shouldn't have done that. I think my better plan might be to keep just going straight up and get this telemetry. We've got to spend another 9 minutes and 4 minutes plus to collect all the telemetry. So it's going to take multiple missions. We have passed our apogee. We are now on our way back down. I think I might just do a whole lot of these. So far, 2 science has come our way. Or sorry, 1.2, 1.3 science. Okay, once we're below 140, these will cut off. That's the unfortunate thing. So can't spend that much time in near space. But it's spent a little bit of time. Okay, we are now back below. A little bit of a load lag there. There we go. And now we're getting nothing. We're getting nothing. So if we take a look at our archive here. Oh, I shouldn't have taken off the barometer. And we take a look. We got our space low. We've got 10%. Oh my gosh. So it's going to take 10 launches to do that. Wow. And on the telemetry analysis, we got 30%. Well, I might as well keep going. I do have a notification here. I think it's for that record. Yep. Uncrewed altitude record, 140 kilometers. Congratulations, you set a new uncrewed altitude record. My batteries are almost empty. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Might need to put a little bit more juice. It's got 1 minute of electric charge left. And then I'm going to lose communications. Now, I still have KOS running because it's going to blow up the rocket when we get below 30 kilometers. But the question becomes, will it still run if we run out of electricity? It might not. Now, the wise thing to do is to actually blow the rocket up right now. That would be the wise thing to do. But I'm really, really curious now what's going to happen. I think we might be okay anyway, because it's getting Just about 20 seconds of electric charge left. And we might be below 30 kilometers. I think we are going to be below 30 kilometers before that. Those are fins exploding. That's just aerodynamic pressures doing what they do. There's 30 kilometers with 1, 2. Oh! Oh, no! Just ran out of electricity. Oh, this is like a movie. 3, 2, program aborted because electricity is gone. We're gonna blow, we're gonna blow. I have no control. I have nothing I can do about this. I have nothing I can do about this. Now, thankfully, as long as I don't literally land on top of one of the KSC buildings, which is really unlikely, this is gonna be okay. Yeah, NASA's got a lawsuit on their hands now, for sure. For sure. These are subdivisions, no doubt about it. Yeah, once you use your electric charge, notice you got nothing. We got no info on this rocket at all. Like, everything just goes, yeah, you got a brick. All you know is what you can see if you're looking out the window. Oh dear. It's honestly not landing that hard. 100 meters per second? Oh, got a bit of a splash. Must have landed in the swamp. A bit of a splashy sound. Okay. That's alright. I might. Let's go back to the Space Center. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not too upset about that. Let's what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go straight into, yes, what I'm gonna do, where's that one that's being worked on? This guy, integration. Let's edit him. We're gonna put the barometer back in, because that was just foolish taking the barometer out. I didn't even think about the possibility of this thing getting into its proper space. Turn on telemetry again, configure the science. Yeah, hide that GUI. Where's configure science? Science! There it is. Configure experiments. Barometer's coming back in. Thermometer, barometer, and turn that barometer on. So we can do pressure scans now. Okay, and then we're gonna save this. Save the edits. Just gonna take a very quick look at my program here. It was the basic sounding program and this range abort, right? That's the function that aborts the rocket. I'm gonna have it just, I could put more electricity in it, but it's you know, maybe that's the smarter thing, because I could change when it's going to abort, but I'd hate it to abort. No, let's keep it the same. Sorry, changing my mind. Changing my mind. Visual Studio. Go away. Back to here, back to here, back to editing this. Could just put a little bit more electricity in. I was thinking about just like, oh, I'll just have it abort higher up, but then I thought, well, maybe, what if it drifted over the ocean and was actually still collecting science? I'd be a little bit annoyed if it aborted then. So right now it's able to run for 7 minutes and 59 seconds with everything running. Back, and to be honest, now it's got the barometer running potentially too. So I should increase the amount of electricity. What if I went to 75 kilojoules, apply that, and preserve the dimensions? And I find what you have to do is just make a change here, and then it gets reflected here. Now it's going to run for almost 12 minutes. That should be good. I mean, that should be more than good. I don't know what the mission time was on the one before. And I don't think that added too much weight. I didn't pay attention, but I guess we'll find out later. Okay, so we're going to, again, save this, save the edits. You know, I could just not do launches at all, and that will build up my funds, I think, quicker. But I think doing launches is probably still a good idea. Going to grab this. We're going to add it to the plans, and then we're going to go to our plans, and we're going to put another one into the building queue. So we got multiple ones going. Next one is due for August. Close that, close that. But I think the science is a good idea. Now up to 6.2 science, but I don't see... I'm just going to keep it building because I can't research what I've unlocked anyway. So I'm just going to let it keep going. Yeah, we'll just go do the launch pad. We're just going to push out rockets. Push out rockets. So our next one's coming up August the 13th. Yeah, let's do that. It's now what? July 17th. We'll just keep getting... Yeah. Until... Okay, there I see a nice big chunk of money. Maybe after this one I'll... Let's roll him out. Warp that one to complete. And launch. Okay, so identical one to the one you just saw. Except this time I should have the barometer aboard. Yep, pressure scans now ready to go. And yeah, so same dealy. Run. Oh! I don't know how that worked. So let's explain what happened there. I see RCS is on. That's a part clue. So what I started doing is I started typing run basic sounding, but this window wasn't active. It was on here. So I hit R, that turned on the RCS. I typed UN, which did nothing. And then I hit space, and that, of course, staged the rocket. Somehow, the ullage wasn't lost on this. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea. I don't deserve... But anyway, this isn't doing anything. Somehow we're flying. Oh my gosh. Okay, somehow we're flying, and I don't know how that happened. I don't know if that was good or bad. Because what should happen, for those people that don't know what I mean by the ullage, is the propellants are in this tank, and right now it's under thrust, so all the propellants are going down towards the bottom of the tank. To be honest, there's a couple of tanks going for fuel and oxidizer, and they're settling on the bottom, and it's that force of thrust that is getting the propellants to go down. I am only reaching a 23 kilometer apoapsis, so this is an enormous waste of time. Okay, so that didn't work. But anyway, to continue on with my explanation, when I lost the booster, am I just out of propellant? It just, yeah, performance loss. Now there's a bunch of things. Maybe the loss of ullage did affect the performance because we only didn't even get to 23 kilometers. But anyways, to continue to explain, when I lost thrust, all the propellants start floating around in the tanks and they won't feed into the engine. The engine shouldn't work. I think what happened there is I actually did have a performance loss. That's why our altitude is so pitiful, because of that bit of sadness. But we're going to live with it. And all I can do now is blow the rocket. We got nothing. No science got collected, nothing. That is just a loss of the cost of this rocket. We're just going to hit range safety. And yeah, I really do want to... Well, that was just sad. That was just sad. So all that's left to do is to try again. Okay, again, we're going to go into plans. We're going to push another one in. And let's take a look at our budget. And let's see if we can hire a few more engineers. Our budget is a little, yeah, it's only 30. Oh, gosh. No, I think I should build up more funds. I don't like this balance. I don't like this balance. Maybe what we can do is do the sounding one again. Reputation's at 41.8. Here, there's a breakdown here. Subsidy cap at 281 reputations. Then the cap is 56,000. My current subsidy based on this reputation is 32,286 per bucks. I'm losing 0 reputation per day, 6 per year. So I lose, okay, it's not terrible how much, the rate at which I'm losing it. I was thinking of maybe cranking out. Might not be dumb. May not be dumb to do. Let's just take a very quick look. Doing another one of these. Up to 17, yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna grab this contract. And we're going to edit. We got 2 of these being built. We're gonna edit this first one. I'm gonna add that 75 units of sounding payload to it. A little bit annoyed with what we just did, what happened there. Okay, so what we're gonna do, take this off. Okay, we have a, oh no, I don't have that part yet. There's that. What's the diameter of this guy? It is 370 millimeters, so 370 millimeters it is. And we need to make it a high pressure steel fuselage for whatever reason to hold this sounding payload. If we open up our tank UI towards the bottom here, we should have our sounding payload. There it is. I'm just going to add that. And whoops, I can see here that we now have 65 units. We just need to make it longer to get 75 units. That's too long. And that does add, it's in here somewhere. Yeah, wet mass, because it's counting the payload of 54.5 kilograms. So it does add some weight to this thing, which is not super duper. But I want the reputation. That's what this is about. Let's see. We're gonna just make her look nice. Actually, I kind of like the little stripes there. Open the coloring GUI. Again, side's going to be orange, and this is going to be the metallic black. Okay, and that should be good. I should be able to just save this rocket. That should be able to do. I just want to make sure contract parameters are good, but to do this contract. So 75 units of sounding payload, check. Got to reach 80 kilometers in altitude. It did it before, so it should be able to do it again. All right, save those edits. So I'm only going to do one with this. Okay, and we will warp to complete reconditioning the launch pad. And we'll do our... Yep. What's the combine say? We're getting close on tracking systems. Alright, and roll that out. What are we at? We're up to September now. Just cranking through the year. Launch. Yeah, recover. That's the launch stool that's there. Okay, so this is it. I don't think I should have taken the barometer out of this one. I don't think there's going to be any science to be had. And unfortunately, the barometer's still in there. I should have known that was going to happen. Oops, wrong button. There's probably someone watching this video going, should have taken the barometer, thermometer, take all the science out, save a bit of weight. Yeah, I should have. Should have, could have, but I didn't. Okay. It does have the 75 units of sounding payload aboard. What the happy heck? Oh, this isn't that one. I edited a different one. Oh, okay. This doesn't have the sounding payload aboard. So there must be the next one. I best go check on that. Okay, so there's not going to be any contracts that are going to be done. But now actually it's good that it has the science aboard. Okay, this time I'm not going to make a mistake. Make sure that window is active. Run. Basic sounding dough. Okay. So this one, just in case I got confused there, people got confused watching this. Remember I had 2 of these in the building queue from Kerbal Construction Time. If I look here, I still have another U-1250 sounding rocket going. That must be the one I edited. Or I didn't save the edits or something, but there is no sounding payload on this fella. So, this is just going to be for science. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not upset about that. Because this has the pressure scan now on it with good reason. In fact, why don't I open this up? I can get into plans. I can add another to the plans. Booster. What's that? What's that? And let's see, we got 75, 80 kilometers on the Apogee, 90, 100. We got well over 140 last time. 120, 130, 140. Just, oh no. Oh no. This time it's not making it to 140. Is this going to be a waste of my time? This might turn out to be a waste of my time. I did put it a little bit of extra weight because I increased the amount of electric charge, didn't I? I didn't. No, this one was unedited. Or was it? I don't know. I don't know. It started with 75. No, so I did increase the amount of electric charge on this. I must not have saved the... I don't know what the frick I'm doing. So the extra bit of electric charge, not reaching the 1.4. Okay. Oh, okay. This changes everything. So again, this is going to be one that's not. This is not making me money. Launching off rockets for no reason whatsoever, because I don't think I'm going to get any science out of this. Son of a beach. Oh, well, there's nothing to do. We're not even, yep, we're not making space. We're not making near space. We've crossed apogee. We're just coming back down. Oh, man. Oh, I also put the barometer on, which added the weight. So just the extra weight of a little bit of extra batteries. Okay. I think then what I'm going to do is I'm going to abandon using this to get to space now that I've done 2 launches in a row that have failed me. Notice it's the rocket failing me. I'm not failing the rocket, just to make sure that that is abundantly clear. I think what I'm going to do is see if I can move them out towards the east a little bit. Oh, bad. Bad mood. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is not how to make money. How's my budget doing? I don't want, no. Okay, let's get back into integration. I might have just not got 2 of these being built. So one of them, I'm going to edit it. I might not have saved the edits. I might have built that sounding payload and just said, oh, that's great. No, this is it. Okay, this one has the sounding payload. This one has 75 units of sound. So this one is the one there. But what I'm going to do, now that I'm thinking about it, is configure the science. It's always so hard to find buttons in this. Configure the experiments. There it is. And we're going to take out the thermometer, and we're going to take out the barometer. And there's no sense even putting on the telemetry, but that's saving us a little bit of weight. It's not going to collect science anyway. And we're going to save these edits. Okay. And then we're going to take the second one here. We're going to edit it. Boom. We're going to bit. Did I add it to the plans or something? Okay, fine. fine. Oh my god, now I see sounding payload again. Okay, I'm paranoid. Oh, I should have said cancel edits. Ah! Oh! The light just came on. The light just came on. When you edit a rocket, it goes to the bottom of the building queue. So that's the one I just edited just a moment ago, and then when I put it back, it goes to the bottom of the building queue. So this should be the unedited one, and that now explains why. Yes, that explains everything. So this one is unedited. Okay, 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 okay. But we're going to edit it anyway, because we're going to change the plan here a little bit. We're taking out the barometer. There we go. We're keeping in the thermometer, and we're going to edge it just ever so little bit. Let's edge it. Can I do less than? Okay, that's set to 5 degrees. Let's edge it 5 degrees towards the east. So I think I can do that by just grabbing this, turning it just one tick. Ooh, that feels extreme. So let's put it back. Okay. Now I'm going to hold the shift key. There. I think that's probably like 2 degrees that I just did. And now I'm going to grab the launch stand. And I'm going to put it, because I want the launch stand still to be vertical. Maybe I don't. I don't know. 2. There. So now it's tilted ever so slightly towards the east. See that? Now I definitely want to simulate this, because gosh knows what's going to happen with this now. But I want it to go over the ocean because there's temperature science there. So we're going to simulate. Yeah. All right. Run basic sounding. Now it's deliberately tilted a couple of degrees towards the east. And the whole plan here is simply to get some of this temperature science over the ocean, because I've got it all over this subtropical zone. So it's about getting over the ocean. And I just want to see what this trajectory is like. Again, of course, I have absolutely no control over this thing. We're not going to collect any science until we get to 40 kilometers. 2 times time warp and speed this up a bit. I mean, we have to be over the ocean now. Looking at my apogee, 70. More time. The higher this apogee gets, the better, because that's the more time it spends up high. There we go. And now we're collecting that high over the ocean science. Our apogee's 122. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And then this guy will just arc and drop into the ocean. There's no telemetry to get. Just temperature science. And I took out the barometer because if we look at the barometer, just in case people are wondering. Oh, I can't. There is no barometer. Pressure scan. Here it is. If we take a look at the pressure scan, right? It's, come on, just show me the pressure scan. There we go. The flying high part is not biome specific. So I've got all there is to get. This is, I like it. I like it. Okay, so we're going to revert back to the editor. And we're going to save these edits. And this should now be the second one again. So this should be the one with the sounding payload. This should be the one. Well, let's see what happens. So again, reconditioning the launch pad. Our next one coming up October 10th. We are building up our funds again, so there is that. Let's roll it out. And go up to that. And it is a sunrise launch. I like it. I'm going to stick with it. Let's see what that looks like. Sun's just coming up. We should get more sun as we increase in altitude. All right, there's our sounding payload. Excellent. Okay, we open up the wrong window. What else is new? This one. And now I can see that the requirement to have 70 units of sounding payload has gone green. There's no science to be collected here. This is purely to collect this 17 reputation. Let's run basic sounding and go. Come on, this time. Good. We got to get to at least an apogee of 80 kilometers. And as long as that happens, this contract will be fine. I'm waiting to see if we can catch a little bit of sunshine down there. I'm seeing Neptune. Neptune. Yeah. Like that's going to happen anytime soon. A little bit of sunrise. Pretty red clouds. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Very, very nice. Okay, so, yeah, that's it. Okay, we're at 50 kilometers for our apogee, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. There we go, 107. So easily over the requirement. So all we got to do is get to it. Okay, excellent. Excellent. A little darker. You can see some stars over there. Looking towards the west. Okay, and 80. There we go. Contract has now gone green. Congratulations on successful launch. The rocket has delivered its payload, 17 reputation and 80 confidence, but it's really the reputation that I care about. No science, of course, because this is not going anywhere where science is going to be a thing. See the Gulf of Mexico over here on the other side. We can probably get a nice view. Yeah, I can see the whole kind of Florida peninsula below us really nicely. On our way back down. Now this should blow itself up. Let's take the... And this time I should have, 6 minutes, 14 seconds of electricity still left, so plenty of electricity. 3, 2, 1, and... Okay. Something went right. Something went right. Goody, good. Okay, so that's going to have me taking a look at my budget screen again. So I now have a daily surplus of 40.5 curb bucks. I'm up to 4.6. My V2 is due for July 7th of next year. My research is due for October. Oh, just in a little bit, my research will be done. Let's look at staffing. I want to hire some more staffing. And I think... What is the node that's coming? Early tracking. That's right, and that will give me some science I can do. I think I'm still going to go for researchers. But I'm going to be a little more cautious. I'm not going to hire 10 at a time. So I really want to watch this balance. Because researchers seem to be a lot of money. So 1, Oh my gosh. 38, 2, 37, 4. Okay, I'm stopping there. I just only hired 4. I'm such a wimp, but I don't want, yeah, okay. But that's brought the research date a little bit closer, and we'll get into researching this other stuff. Post-war rocketry gets me engine upgrades, and material science get me material upgrades. So there will be some good things coming very, very soon. We'll be able to make improvements to our rockets, but I think what I need to do is another launch, another U-1250. This is the one that's going towards the west, or east a little bit. Oh, I got early tracking systems coming up in just 5 days. And that will give me the biological samples, plus improved avionics. Ooh, and then I could just modify one of these rockets, one of these 1250s, and do an actual mainstream contract. Let's just take a look at the contract really quickly. So this is this one. First low space biological experimentation. So reach 100 kilometers in altitude with 35 units of sounding payload. Oh boy. Okay, let's I got to make sure we can do this. 35 units of sounding payload, and then recover the sample. Must have the sounding payload, must include the small biological experiment on the craft. Reach at least 100 kilometers and return this biological sample safely. That's key. That gets me 19 reputation and more leaders. Well, let's just really quickly jump into, actually no, sorry, first let's accept this so we can look at it. Let's jump in there and see if this is going to be something we are capable of. No, actually, sorry, I'm gonna go into research and development, and this is the node we are right down here. Early tracking systems. So it gives me this too. Avionics upgrade, we get a science core. Yeah, so the mass of the science core has gone down too. Cost up, power loss down. Okay, so this is the core TL1 on the science core. So we also get less mass on the science core. So we got a lot of good things coming. Let's edit this craft and see if we can get this to work. So I'm just going to get out my U-1250 with the Tiny Tim. There it is, right there. And a few things we're going to be doing here right away. So we get to the next science core. Like, is that this? I think I can switch these things. I think so. I think I get post-war avionics. Not the start one. And you can switch to this just as a test for now. So this should be decreasing the mass by a little. Where's the mass? Oh, here. Let's go back, switch to start. Mass here is 48 kilograms. If I go to the post-war avionics, down to 3.3. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so we get that avionics upgrade. I want to get every advantage that I can get. We also get the biological sample. No, I'm just realizing I'm being really dumb. Because there's no reason for me to be guessing here. Let's warp to 5 days. Get that early tech, and then I'm not guessing at this stuff anymore. Now what we'll do is we'll go in there. We may end up editing one of these guys, but yeah, let's get in. Let's actually edit it. Let's edit this guy. Now I'm no longer oh, that one's one of the ones that's going off on a jaunty slant. Okay, then let's undo the jaunt. Yeah, let's undo the jaunty slant. So the jaunty slant, I have to take that off. I believe it was 2 ticks. Wait. No, this is a bad idea. Bad idea. Cancel edits, because getting it straight up again is going to drive me crazy. So we'll just... let's go new. No. So we go open a new one. So this one's not on the Jaunty's land. Because that would have driven me crazy to try and straighten that up. Okay, so let's take a look at our avionics. We should now have, yep, for free, we can unlock post-war avionics. So we are now, so that was a correct guess. We can also get under here, and we should now have the science, silly Billy. We now have the biological sample legit, and that should fit under there nicely. So the idea with these biological samples, the small ones containing, let's just read it here. It says, this is a capsule containing biological samples, fruit flies, fungus, perhaps even a mouse or two. Only recovering these samples safely will give information about the life response of the given situation. So you do have to recover it to get the science. You know, we're not going to kill our mousies. Well, we might kill our mousies, actually. There's no rule that says they're coming back alive, is it? Sorry. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the contract. So the contract is I also have to have 35 units of sounding payload aboard. I also have to return this, so I do have to remember that. So this is going to be one of these. Pressurized steel. The diameter is, I believe, 370 millimeters. There we go. Tool the tank, and all the way down is the sounding payload. No room in the tank. What did I do there? Did I put stuff in it by mistake? I did. I must have clicked on something. Remove. Somehow I clicked on that. Add sounding payload. There we go. So that's 65. We need 35, right? Yes. So just decrease the length. We see 35, 32.3, so a little bit more. Okay, there's our 35 units of sounding payload. We also need to recover this. So that's going to require some parachutes. So we're going to go into our procedural parachutes. We got this fella right here. We're going to bring it down. Oh yeah, this one doesn't do work that. You got to bring up the parachute editor. And there are just previous sizes. There isn't a fine, so we'll just have to get which one looks best. Oh, I think that looks fine. I think one more size down probably is going to be too small. It is. In between there like that is going to be fine, I think. There we go. And this is not on, so that we got here this is the mass we want returning. I'm assuming, do we want to return the sounding payload? I'm assuming we do. Maybe we don't. Well, we'll try. We'll see. We'll see if this can get to the 100 kilometers, and then if it can't get to the 100 kilometers, we'll see if it still satisfies the contract with the sounding payload off of it. But either way, we're going to go down, 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 down. Main chute, single chute. Main chute, wanted speed at touchdown, parachutes used, parachutes 1. And then we have a secondary chute. Can I take off the secondary chute? Let's just live life on the edge. This is red. I'm not sure if it likes that. Just apply settings. Warning, it didn't like that, so it doesn't want. Fine. Apply settings. Okay, that is successful. So this whole configuration, this whole payload part of it, is 100 kilograms right on the button. Put that there. Oh, we got this happening. This, and oh, what did somebody I've gotten some suggestions of when this happening with the when the text, there's a bit of a combine like this, and one of them was to simply use the move tool, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. That seems, but somebody just suggested all you got to do is change the length just a little bit. So 0.69, bring it down. No, it still does it. Very weird. Okay, I'm not gonna worry. Oh, no, I know what somebody recommended. 0.69, put it back to where it was. Somebody recommended. I remember now. If you use the old alt-click trick to make a copy, move that one away and put your copy on it. No, that didn't work either. Okay. It bugs me. And one thing I could do is just flat out ignore it, I suppose, but I'll do the there. Oh, but now it's this one. That doesn't work. Okay, fine. You know what? Let's just recolor this. Why does it bug me just so much? Okay, and the main thing here is orange, and the secondary color is metallic black. Okay, and then I'll do just this. Never get it precise. Let's have to live with it. Okay. I don't want to save this. There's no recoloring on the parachutes or anything like that. No. Okay. So I'm thinking this will likely do it. I got my staging messed up, right? Because it's supposed to... Oh my gosh. Staging messed up. How's this supposed to work? Oh my god, everything's messed up. Stop it. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. And then you turn on the motor. Okay, let's control Z a little bit until the staging is right. Because the staging's complicated. There. This gets launched at the same time? I honestly can't remember how this is supposed to work. Son of a beach. Okay. We gotta think about this. Okay. There is smart parts hidden in here. You know what? Save this. Save this. Bring out the old one. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Okay. Oh, that is the... Okay, so the staging is right. Okay, I'll have to trust it. I don't remember what I've done anymore. Okay. Got smart parts in there. I got everything. Oh, wait. Open up the temp one. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. Let's fix this. So... that, opening up the coloring GUI. Why am I coloring it? I don't even know if this is going to work yet. But I am. I ended up clicking on that by mistake. A nice simple one. That one. Okay. All right, test this. So it's got to get to 100 kilometers. Okay. We can also take a look at... You know what? I'll do it all manually for deploying the payload and junk. Yeah, and then we'll look at our KOS program. So let's save and simulate. And I had... Okay. Before I was trying to do it from now. What time is it? Because people were pointing out to me you were actually likely just going too far into the future. I don't know what time it is, though. Let's just go 3 hours from now. 3 hours. Don't enable part failure. Invalid time. Didn't like the uppercase H. There. Okay. Okay, it's still dark. People were pointing out to me that about 1200 hours UT. So I went ahead 3 hours. I want to get this to about, so if I go another 10, so 13, 14, 15 hours. Let's just bear with me for a minute. I want to see if I can get this to work. Revert to editor. People were pointing out to me that about 1200 is sunrise. So if I simulate and go ahead about 15 hours, that should get me well into the day. And it's all about just so I can see if this will work doing this during the day. Let's see if this works. Yay, it works! Okay, people might remember in my first episode I was all confused about that. So I'm just imagining myself 1500 hour. Okay, let's just run basic sounding. And what this thing needs to do is get to 100 kilometers and return that payload. So if it can do both of those, I'm going to be a very happy camper. Oh! Okay, so there's something up with the... Let's put this on waiting. Valid situation, I know. So we need to have a negative vertical velocity before this will deploy. All my conditions are green other than getting to the required apogee. Oh, I also probably have barometers and thermometers. Yes, I can take off the science. That will save me some weight. There's additional science in the avionics. So I should take that out. Is leaning a little bit to the side, which I don't like. Let's see our apogee, 70 kilometers, 80, 90, 100, so it's over 100, 115, 120, oh, 118. Okay, okay, so we are going to be able to do this. Oh my gosh, like an actual proper contract. So let's time warp up there. Oh, wait. Biological sample says it's running. Deployment. Oh, that's the parachute that's saying that. I don't think I've ever noticed that message comes up. So that's the parachute message. It won't deploy until... Oh, it got deployed. How did it get the... Okay, I got to investigate there. So somehow this deployed my parachute. There's something wacky with the staging. Okay, that's on me. Oh, and this doesn't have a decoupler. Okay, okay. There's lots of things wrong. Okay, revert back to the editor. There's no decoupler to decouple the payload. My goodness. Okay, so There is no decoupler in here, so that is one problem. So we're going to take this off. We're going to get in here and put in, I guess, the ring decoupler. Set that to a diameter of 370. That should be good. That should be it. Now let's again look at our staging, because there's things not right here. Okay, that is the that is that decoupler should start. Yeah, that's what makes sense. Okay, that's making some sense. That's making some sense. Is there a coloring thing I can put on this? Maybe make it black or something. Open coloring GUI. Nice, 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 nice. Black. Yeah, okay. You can see it there a little bit, but that's all. And the vertical scale, does it go thinner? Not really. Okay, we'll leave it. Okay, so that's that. We can also get into here and remove the extra science, which is not doing anything for me. So configure experiments. No thermometer. No barometer. There we go. And on this guy, we should set it to waiting. Electricity, it's got 20 minutes of electricity aboard. Okay. I'm feeling pretty confident, so why don't I actually get into Visual Studio and take a look at this downrange. We got here simple countdown, then it waits to apoapsis, and then it does the range abort when it gets back down below 30. I should have a deploy payload option in here. So what I might just do, let's see, if I go to my launch functions, is there a deploy payload function? And if so, what does it do? There it is, way down here. Deploy payload. So wait until deployment altitude is 80. Okay, no. Wait until altitude. Okay. Oh, I see. Parameter deploying altitude is 80 kilometers. Wait until altitude is less than the deployment altitude, and vertical speed is, oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, that's cool. So the default is 80, but I can change that parameter to whatever I want. So both of those two things have to be true. Then deploying payload, and then why does it say deploying payload and then stage? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But I like this function. I think this function will work for me. So I'm going to go to this downrange. We're going to add, nope, sorry, it's the basic sounding. We're going to save it as something else. But what we're going to do in here is put in deploy payload. And instead of 80,000 being the deployment altitude, I can put in a different number here, and I'm thinking 100, like that, and then a period. We'll test this out. And I'm going to save this with a different, this is going to be a new program. So this is going to be file. I'm going to save this as instead of basic sounding, this is going to be biological payload. In fact, we'll make this shorter because I'm going to have to type this. So, simp, not dimp, simp. Can't type. Simp. Oh, you can't see this anyway. So I save this as simp bio payload, and I like it. I do. So we want to create a new boot file. And the only difference in the boot file is going to be you need to run simp bio payload, and we're going to save this as U1250 bio payload. And that is going into our boot files. Yes. Okay. All right. So that should all be good. That should be saved. That should be saved. Okay. We can get rid of this. And unfortunately, until the vessel renders, is it just me or is it slanted? It really feels like it is, but it might just be an illusion. Anyway, we gotta exit out of here. Oh no, wait, we're gonna run this. No, we gotta exit out first. And we'll go back in. Unfortunately, those boot files don't become available to see until you re-render the vessel. I'm just wondering, I might have just been able to load something else and then reload it, but that'll work. Okay, let's simulate this. Save this. Simulate, and I'm hoping this will be a happy launch. And if this works, we're going to push this right to the front of the building queue. Okay, so run simp bio payload. Go. Alright, got a bit of a frog in the throat. Let's see. So only science now. Well, there's the telemetry, which you can't get rid of. And the bioscience. And I don't have that annoying message, parachutes not being deployed just yet. So that is good. Again, we are waiting to get to that 100-kilometer altitude. Can't open up this. I should probably upgrade that slanty one, just to the new avionics, because that will probably save some weight too. Tell you what we're gonna do. If this works, I'm pushing this right to the front of the building queue, and this is gonna be our next launch. And we're gonna use this. This is what's gonna conclude this. At least we got something. Did a contract. Did it? We did a thing. We did a thing. Okay. 100-kilometer altitude. 108. 108. No speed record. No, not even close to any speed records. Okay, let's get up there. 108 kilometers. So as long as it can do that outside of simulation mode, then we got this. I'm just going to make sure the program runs and make sure that this does recover. I don't know, should I do a test with the... I think I should... I don't recover the sounding payload and see what that does to the contract. I really do, because that way I get a well, I'll get more science too. I'll get more science as well. Okay, so we should be reaching our apogee. And there we go. Apogee is reached. We are now falling. And when we get back down to 100 kilometers, that's when this should deploy. I'm thinking I don't need to have the 35 units of sounding pay. I'm almost positive because it's already gone green, and the only requirement is to return home safely. I heard the stage, but it didn't stage. I don't know why, so we're going to stage this way. I am almost positive I don't need the 35 units of sounding payload. I don't think I'm even going to test it. Because notice on the contract, this is all gone green. The only thing not green is return home safely. Doesn't say return home safely with 35 units of sounding payload. To be honest, it does says don't, doesn't say return home safely with your mousies either. But I do want the science. So I'm not going to get the science if I don't return home safely. I just realized I have range abort on. Let's wait, Control C this. I still have the range abort on. So it was going to blow up the rocket. So I just aborted the program so that won't happen. So let's make that change like right now. Boy, that was a potential disaster right there. Right here, range abort. Yeah, don't want range abort. That's not part of the equation. Come on. And then maybe what I'll do is just put in here a wait 5 seconds, and then the program will just end. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get rid of this. Okay, back to here. All right, so we should be seeing this parachute is active. We are falling. I just want to make sure all of that works well. And if this all works well, I'm going to lose that sounding payload because I'm confident I don't need it. Coming back down through the clouds. Went up clear. See, we've come to the west a little bit. That's okay. When are those parachutes going to deploy? Something. Oh, yeah, a rocket. A rocket blew up. It landed somewhere in somebody's backyard. What would be smarter would be to put another... Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about the whole thing, put the avionics on the rocket core, set that so it'll blow. I don't know. That might be all getting too complicated. All right, we got our parachutes. Let's just time warp, make sure this all works. We got a couple of changes to make. I already made the change to the program so that it doesn't blow it up. Coming through clouds. And, oh, we got, look at, we're dropping like super slow. We're fine. We're fine. Let's end this. Let's do this. Okay, revert to the editor. Don't need another test flight. Okay, so what did I say I was going to do? What I said I was going to do was we're going to get rid of the sounding payload. Just like so. So that means that these parachutes have to be redone. These parachutes are going to become lighter now because there's less payload for them to have to deal with. So apply those settings. Boink. Yep. So that's good. The payload now is only 75 kilograms. Then we'll put our sounding payload back. Then we'll put this back. And that is the whole shebang, is it not? I think so. That should be good. So save this. And we're going to put it into our building queue. Oh, we got to unlock a part. That's fine. Acknowledge. Oh, we should probably also do a little bit of tooling. Let's acknowledge that. Do I have to do some tooling because the new sound? Oh, wait. Procedural tank for the sounding payload. Oh, new avionics. Yeah, we're going to tool all that. Okay, purchase the toolings. Then we're going to build this guy. And yes, we're going to buy the parts for no money because we got the credits for it. And we are going to put it in the queue. Are we there? Are we there? Are we in? So there's my temp one. So we're going to rename this. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, we got to get out of here. We want to rename. Okay, so we're going to... This one was called temp. We're going to rename you. Instead of the word temp at the front, it's going to have the word bio. That makes way more sense. Just to remind me that this is the one with the biology one in it. We're going to push that to the top. We're also going to take this guy. We're going to edit this. This is the one set to go up over the ocean. But now I got better avionics. This is going to reduce the weight. Right now the weight is 1,032 kilograms. But if we choose these avionics, our post-war avionics, we're now 1,017 kilograms, which means it should just go further. Absolutely doodly doodly. Okay, so we're going to save the edits on that. We're going to make sure this is in a good order. I like it. Bio 1 is first. It is set still for this year, December 6th of this year. We also are going to be starting our research on post-war rocketry testing. Is that right? Oh, that's for new rockets. So that'll get me upgrades on the rocket motors. I like that. I do have 6.2 science, but you know what? I'm just going to ignore that for now, and we'll figure that out next time. I just want to get this launch done. So there we go. Research and development. Oh, I just clicked on that by mistake. Okay. So roll out our rocket. And we are now at December. Lovely day. Let's do it. Okay, so our contract, let's get that so we can see it. Again, helps when I push the right buttons. There we go. So this is the contract we're interested in. Still got some altitude records and speed records, but we're not going to reach those. We're just looking at this one. Get these little bitty flies. No, I said they were mice. Little bitty mice up to 100 kilometers, bring them back down. That is the whole shebang. We will get this looking at. We do have science all set up, ready to go. So we just got to go here and we got to run simple simp bio payload and go. All right. We have ignition of our main engine. It's always the spookiest part, though. I mean, it can fail after that. We had that happen once, so we never could be sure whether that had to do with the warped launch that happened anyway. Again, lots of clouds, but we are coming up through the sunshine. Excellent. And now all we got to do is watch and make sure we get to that altitude. When we get to altitude, we has this. We has it. Okay, 50 kilometers in altitude. Not altitude, apogee, 60 kilometer apogee. 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 100, just shy of 120 kilometers in altitude. So it did a little better than what it did in simulation. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let's time warp up there. Our biological samples are running. Does this? Oh, I can deploy this. I should have attached that to something. See, there's a little animation. Cute. Okay, I could put that on a for future launches. To be honest, we'll probably do some more of these. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm sure, no, this takes 19 minutes to collect all this science. There's 14.9 science worth to collect too, so it's going to be worth our while to collect that. But maybe what I'll do is modify the program. Or maybe just put in a little smart part. I'll put a little smart part to deploy that. I think that'll be worth it. Okay. So there we go. That's 100. That has now, all we got to do is get back safely. We're still collecting science. Our apogee's just over 119 kilometers. Time warp up to that. Okay. 1.5 science collected thus far. Okay, we are now falling. Apogee has been reached according to KOS. KOS, you are correct. Our apogee has been reached. And now we are on our way back down. A little bit of touch of space for our mousies. It's downwards from here. Now at 100 kilometers, we should see... We should see the deployment of our payload, and then this program should end. Oh, again, that staging doesn't work. I wonder why. I should put in, and then the program ended, but I'm going to have to stage the stage. So we've got to look at that. So maybe just put in a second stage. I'm not quite sure. So, oh, you know what? Probably just a wait command of some kind usually fixes that up. Something to continue to work towards. You can see our booster down here below. It's going to smack into the ground. But otherwise, it's just waiting for those parachutes. Mousies get to enjoy the view on the way back down. Absolutely terrified, no doubt. Okay, our science is finished collecting. How much science did we get? Oh, it's all stored inside here. Data. It's here. 3.2 science, but we have to collect it. This actually is increasing the weight, too. We've added 43 kilograms to our samples, which I'm not quite sure what is going on with how the mouse have added weight, but somehow they have. Otherwise, it's just waiting to get down there to the bottom. Here, we can undeploy this. Close. I'm definitely putting a smart part in here on hiding that, so that'll just go automatically. That'll be worth it. That's our booster hitting the ground, taking out someone's house, and coming through the clouds. Oh, there goes our parachutes. Oh, we're going to be upside down here, it looks like. No, we're just going to spin. We are just going to spin. We are doing a centrifugal force experiment on our mouse. That is what we're doing. This is all by design. Okay. Alright, let's really time warp. So, oh my god, this is a ride. This is a ride. Now, I am at 4 times speed. It's not quite as shaky. When it's still pretty shaky. They're getting thrown around in there. Maybe the parachutes would be... I don't know. There's only 3 parts here, so the parachutes either go in the middle or they go at the end. If they go at the end, this thing is definitely going to land... Well, it's going to land on the nose anyway. Alright, just about there. 30 meters, 20 meters, and we are touching. And we are safe, and as long as it starts rolling there, yes, so there we go. Contract has gone complete. We can take a look at our contract here. Well done. Our scientists are now studying the sample to see what the effects of the journey, 19 reputation, and we have unlocked the following leaders. We'll have to see where they fit into our administration, but I think that's going to conclude this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you around for the next one.